Yeah, yeah. Yeah, yeah. Yeah. Look. Wrestling 101, classes in session. Pay attention to the teachings, that's from Andrew and Derek. I mean, these guys making a killing with no competition. Dynamic duo better than the Hardy Boys and the Dudley Boys. Everybody make some noise, mess with them, you get destroyed. They cannot be beat, take a seat. Watch them do their thing on the MIC. Face defeat, they cannot be seen like JC. Oh my goodness, it's a killing spree.
Hey, this is Colin West here with the best light heavyweight on the planet today, Arcadia.
I'm thinking about changing to heavyweight.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
You really want to put on that kind of weight?
Nope. What are we listening to?
We're listening to Wrestling IQ 101, the best podcast on the internet today.
A number one.
You really want to put on that kind of weight?
Mm-hmm.
Wow.
Hey everyone, welcome back to another edition of Wrestling IQ 101. I'm Andrew alongside Derek.
Yep.
And you can follow Wrestling IQ 101 on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram. And today we're sitting with Mr. No Limits, Chris Banks. How's it going, man?
All right. Chris Banks, remember the name Chris Banks? What's up, Andrew? What's up, Derek? What's up, everybody in the listening world, listening to the three most beautiful voices right now going on and happening.
I like that. I definitely agree with that. Yeah, I like that.
So, Chris, man, what are you up to, man? How's life?
Oh, life is good. I actually just came back. I just got to New Jersey this morning. I've been on the road. Long, fun weekend. I was been making the rounds, making those miles, brother. Like Rob Fury would say.
Nice.
Just going around traveling. Right now, I'm actually I was in the middle of field work. I started training on the field, a lot of running, acrobatics, flipping, jumping around, tire tossing. So, I just took a quick break to get live with you, gentlemen, and then I'm heading to the gym to try to get some weight up because I got tired of being that skinny guy. How's everybody doing today, though?
Yeah, nice. Yeah. I always see you on IG, man. Always in the gym, working hard. What's like a daily regimen for you in the gym?
Consists of a lot of talking to girls, looking at girls. I'm joking.
Is it consensual talking?
Yeah, seriously.
That's what I do. Now, my new thing lately, though, is 10 miles runs, like running 10 miles a day on land. Which fucking sucks, but it's because in October, me and a bunch of friends were doing the Tough Mudder.
Yeah, nice.
So I'm also, besides wrestling, I'm also training for that. So, I'm doing a lot of running every day, at the minimum 10 miles. But then every day. One day is chest, next day is back and shoulders, next day is abs and legs. Then the next day is every body part. And, I take no days off. I probably take off once a week to rest.
Really? Once a week?
And that's, a lot of people say, oh, that's not good. But I look at it first off, you fat fuck. How are you telling me how to be in shape? Second off, I used to be 160 pounds, fucking 8, 9, and now I'm 203, so I must be doing something right, and it's all natural. I don't do that steroid. None of that shit is my style.
Nice.
So I must be doing something right.
Even on days you wrestle?
Yeah, I don't know. It's kind of breaking the fourth wall right now, because he's like my biggest enemy in wrestling. But Joey Ace in the real world, that's I love the guy to death. That's one of my best friends. And every show, it's either, before a show, it's either me and him in the gym or me and Tommy in the gym. So before a show, we wake up extra early just to get that in. You have to do it, man. You want to be a wrestler, you got to be a wrestler. It's a hard thing, but it's if it was easy, everybody would do it. How do you stand out? By proving to yourself and proving to the world that you want it more.
Yeah.
You know, makes sense?
Yeah, definitely. Now, with the training, too, as well, especially training for, a Tough Mudder, do you find, your stamina has improved and that helps you in wrestling?
Yes, it really has. It was a couple of weeks ago, I had a show in Quaker, New Jersey. And I was against a gentleman, Rob Zaccardi, well known on the indie scene, great fucking work. He was a big name in CZW. He He basically been around forever. The guy's traveled all over. He's the white guy for the Team Blackout. If you're an indie fan, I'm sure you know who they are.
Yeah.
And that's where it really showed. Like that guy could go. Big shout out to Rob Zicardi. If you don't know about him, that's the guy you want to check out. Yeah, like that guy could go. Nice. And fucking like we went at it. We were out there for a while, and like after the match, like we were both like so good, and that's when I really noticed. Like, holy shit, my cardio got up to par. Like I wasn't even breathing heavy. To me, it felt like I was out there for about 5 minutes. I think we went 20 minutes. The promoter wanted us to go. Yeah, that's when I really noticed. Holy shit.
Oh, nice. I'm gonna tell Rob next time. Put you on an Iron Man match for your next match, man.
You should see me train in the ring. Rob loves it. Like Rob tried to train with me for a while. That's my go-to. Like, if I can't roll around in that ring for 60 minutes nonstop, I shouldn't be rolling.
Yeah,
that's how I look at it.
Yeah,
like a lot of guys, that's the thing too. Like nowadays, a lot of guys worry more about bookings than training. I'm the opposite. I like to worry more about training than bookings. I have the mentality that like I don't reach out. Don't get me wrong. I do reach out to. My mentality is I don't want to be there. I want them to want me there. If that makes sense. You know what I mean? So that's why I do what I do and work so hard and bust my ass and try to be better than the next person.
Yeah, definitely.
You know, Chris, when last time I saw you wrestle, you were in the ring with J.J. Adams. Does he remind you of a young Chris Banks? And also, if he does, in what way?
I'll be honest with you. I don't know if you know the backstory of how J.J. Adams even got on the show. Honestly, I can kind of do that comparison because when I was younger, I was young like him. I don't know if you saw any old footage of I, but like I was all about the flippy jumpy shit. I was a young kid that wanted a spot, and nobody wanted to give me that spot. So in that sense, I would compare him to a young myself, and also because I didn't want him on the card originally. He wanted him on the card. Like that match, I asked him like, "Yo, can you and I?" That came about with. Can I break kayfabe on this?
Yeah.
It's a full gimmick because I kind of got to break the fourth wall in the story how he came about. Is it okay for me to break that fourth wall?
Yeah, sure. Yeah, definitely.
All right, just making sure. All right, what happened was we had a show in Boone, New Jersey, SWS. The main event was supposed to be me, Vinny Cenzo, and Vinny Cenzo, Rob Fury, Fury 5 versus Ida Moose and two mystery partners, which were Magic and King Jesus, a.k.a. Sonny Black, a.k.a. Lucifer Darkside. If you know about him, look up on him. This motherfucker was like 6'7", 300 pounds, doing fucking 450. So he was like a cruiserweight. So that was the original match. Now, other match with J.J. Adams and some other guy. So Rob hit me up. He's like, "Yo, let's put this match together with J.J. Adams and this us guy." At that point, I didn't know who the hell J.J. Adams was. So I was like, no, like we have a solid card. Why are we going to put that can't even work on the card? And he's like, "No, the kid could go, blah, blah, blah. He hasn't been training long." I'm like, "Okay, once again, we have a solid. Why are we going to do that for?" So he's like, "Yeah, okay, you're right, blah, 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 blah." We end up, we're opening the show with a Battle Royal match. So what had happened was, to this point, I'd never met J.J. Adams, don't know him from a hole in the wall, only for what I heard about him, which wasn't good. So the day of the Battle Royal comes, and we're opening the show, and Rob asked me if me and Vinny, not Cenzo, because guys, like a lot of guys that try to help the young guys in the back. So he asked me and Big Vinny, Truex, Dominic Truex. He asked us if we could aid that match, which we were both like, okay, no problem. So I was like, "Yo, is this an opener? I wanted to get the crowd behind the face and get them hyped, so we got to get a face over. You know what I mean?" So I was like, who's in the Rumble? And X amount of guys raised their hands, and I was like, who's the faces in the Rumble? And two guys raised their hands, and J.J. Adams was one of them. So I was like, oh my God. I was like, I need more than two faces because I need a face to go over. Who's a face in the Rumble? All of a sudden, everybody's hand went up. I was like, okay. And J.J. minority town. I'm a minority, so if anybody gets offended, you're a fucking idiot. It's reality. It's fucking business. You know what I mean? So anyway, it's a minority town. He's a good-looking kid. He's young. So I was like, we're gonna put you over. I just haven't known that that's JJ Adams. I'm just like, we're gonna put you over.
Mm-hmm.
So so I give like details how I want to keep this kid strong, blah blah blah. So I'm like, oh, what's your name? So like he says JJ. So then I'm like, oh wait, I'm like, what's your ring name? So he said JJ Adams. So in my head I'm like, oh shit, this is the kid that Rob was talking about. So I'm like, all right, whatever. I give the whole build up for the match or whatever. So for the end of the match, what ended up happening was it was supposed to be JJ Adams, 5, which is Frankie Love, and Clay and Marksman. Marksman in there because out of all the guys that was in it, he's like the more experienced guy out of everybody that was in it. And Clay, yeah, because like I know he's experienced and he knows what he's doing. I could trust him in there to hold everything. You know what I mean? Yeah. Now, what ended up happening was I didn't remember that the match had started, and I was outside. So by the time Vinny Cenzo found me, I was like, yo, because we were supposed to do a run-in. Vinny Cenzo was like, yo, Adam is down to the final 4. We're supposed to be in there. I'm like, oh, shit. So I come running to the ring, and when I run to the ring, there's only 2 left. It's J.J. Adams and Frankie Love. So we're like, fuck it. So, like, we come in, we beat down J.J. Adams. The crowd is so behind this kid. So we're like, fuck it. So, like, we put him over for a move. Now the crowd is so behind this kid, we had no choice because now we're building up for the main event. So Tommy the Moose comes down and fucking his partners come down to the ring, and like the crowd is still chanting for JJ. So I fucking like I think he bought strip. I was like, yo, turn the 6-man into an 8-man, and we got to throw this kid in it. Like we have to throw him in it. But the crowd is so behind him. So he ended up we end up throwing him in the match. And during the match, like, no, I'm like, oh shit, the kid that I didn't want on the show is now in the main event. Like, what the fuck? You know what I mean? I was like, I want to feel him out in this match. So I told him, like, yo, when he gets tagged, then tag me in so I could feel him out. Yeah. And literally the time we had it there, it felt so good that I told Rob, like, yo, next show, can we please have a singles match? I want to feel him more. And you know what? The kid was awesome. Because, like, we spoke, we had guidelines about what we wanted to do in there. But, like, we had a time period, obviously. And, like, we already had the crowd hot. And then at a certain point, you have the crowd that you don't want to, you just want to drop them, so you want to keep them there. So, like, when we got the crowd there, like, I told him, I was like, yo, just bring it home now. So I was worried. After I said, I thought to myself, like, fuck, this is just, like, his first, like, singles match on a pro show. Like, he's probably going to want to get all this shit in right now. Mm-hmm. But with no hesitation, when I said, just bring it home now, he pushed me off the rope and kicked me and went right into the finishing spot, like into the bring home spot. Oh. So like he impressed the fuck out of me. Even afterwards, I told him that, so I was like, dude, like that was fucking great. Like when I told you to bring it home, I got worried that you were gonna try to fit everything in real quick, and you were smart enough to you went for it and brought it home.
Nice.
Yeah, pretty cool. Man.
Pretty dope. Yeah.
So, big up to J.J. Adams.
Definitely, for sure. Now, when it comes to being Mr. No Limits, what exactly does that mean to you?
The whole Mr. No Limits tag came back from I'm sorry. No Limits tag came back for when back in the days I used to work for another promotion. I don't really feel the need to drop their name because I ain't trying to give them no publicity. But I used to work for another promotion, and like they had a division called the No Limits division. Mm-hmm. And like when I got there, that's where like it was like, let's give this kid a shot. Blah blah blah. Basically, they brought me in as a jobber, which I really don't mind. But like, I knew that the guys, like, not saying that I'm better than anybody. That's also where the catch line, I'm better than you 1-on-1 came from. But what happened? Like they were just putting me in matches. That like it was like, okay, we need you to get this guy over, and like it was like pulling teeth. The guys they had me in there with. And so one day, the promoter was like, Chris, I need a promo from you. So I'm like, all right. I was like, anything you want me to talk about? And he was like, nah, just say whatever's on your mind. Andrew knows me enough to know if you give me a live mic and tell me to speak what's on my mind, I don't cut promos. I cut shoots. I shoot. It's easier for me to shoot. So I just ran off. I started running my mouth, talking shit like, this place is bullshit. Like, you guys want me to come in and do dumb shit pretty much. And, like, in the mix of it, I was like, yo, like, I broke the fourth one. I said, I was like, yo, I'm missing no limits. Like, you can't just, like, put a tag on me. You can't cover me up. And then once I said, like, Mr. No Limit, started doing things that was, like, every promotion, I tried to stand out. I wanted to be that guy that when you left the show, you were like, holy shit. Remember that one guy did that crazy shit? So, like, we get to a venue, I see, like, oh, what's the highest thing I could climb and jump off of? Oh, what's the thing that, how can you hit me with that's going to make me look good? Like, something like that. And, like, there's no limits pretty much to anything that I would do. Unintended. And that's, like, became the whole thing, Mr. No Limit. And, like, it's not really a gimmick. It was just being young, dumb, and hungry.
Yeah.
Like, looking back at it, I did a lot of shit that I want to do now. You know what I mean?
Yeah, definitely.
Like, I look at old videos, I'm like, wow, I was fucking stupid. Like, I could have died. Like, why did I do that?
Yeah.
You know, Chris, the one thing I find interesting is your relationship with Rob Fury. Can you talk about how it was working with him?
No, I'm joking.
Because there was a point in time where you guys weren't talking, right?
It's weird because, like, Chris Ace and Rob Banner didn't get along. I mean, always got along, but Rob Fury and Chris Banks didn't get along, if that makes sense. Because, like, Rob and I go way back, wrestling, well, obviously wrestling, but, like, before SWF shit, like, we go back, you know what I mean? And, like, we bump heads and shit, and, like, I was falling out with, things were happening between the company, and, like, I told Rob, I'm like, yo, like, you gotta watch out for X, Y, and Z, because X, Y, and Z just wants A, B, and C to happen. Like, there's a difference between, like, people who want to see a company grow and people want to grow. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And, like, a lot, like, Rob always had that attitude, like, oh, this is my place. If you don't like it, get the fuck out of here. I'm the last person you want to see. I have no problems. And okay. You know, so what I was saying, we had a disagreement. I remember exactly what it was. Pretty much, it was me telling him something about that. His attitude was, if you like it and don't be here. So I was like, you know what? I'll do you the favor. I won't be here. So, like, that's how it happened. But we still had, like, the whole, like, he would still, like, make sure I was good. Like, it would be like, hey, life's good with you? Yeah. Or, like, I would make sure with him, like, life's good with you? Yeah, that's it. Like, we weren't seeing each other on the business stuff. On the personal level, we still wished love for each other. And, like, it came to the point where he was saying certain things that, like, I'm like, fuck you. Like, no, that's not how it went down. And, like, I have no problem on it. So I just kept calling him his bullshit. And then it became, like, me just having, like, I never said nothing too malicious. It was more like me control. Because I know he's about certain things. So to fuck with him, I would say certain things because I knew it would get back to him.
Oh, man.
Especially he has like his little henchmen that like screenshot everything. So I would purposely write shit for them to screenshot to send to him.
Oh, my goodness. That's funny.
Like, it was just me being funny. Like, he knew it was me being funny, but his little henchmen didn't know it was funny.
That's funny.
Yeah, that's funny.
And like, one day he like called me out of nowhere, and like his exact words to me was, "Brother, you were right." And right away, like I knew exactly what he was talking about. And like instead of me being a dick about it, like, yeah, I told you, blah blah blah. He'll tell you my exact words was, "I don't give a fuck about being right and wrong. How can we fix this?"
Nice.
That's what I said to him.
That's cool.
And then we started brainstorming. And like once you Rob, like I do give him like he always says it like he loves my thoughts of the business because like I pretty much talk about him. He trusts his. A lot of times I don't like to tell him so much because he talks too much, and I always tell him that like he gives too much away to people. So like he basically he gave me a round of what his idea was, and I was like, okay, have fun with it. It should happen. And then I think it was Jack. Were you there in Jackson when I made my return?
Yeah. And what that was a huge surprise.
He didn't even know that was going to happen. If you see his reaction in the video, that's all a genuine reaction. Like, he knew something was going to happen, but he didn't know how or when or what. So, like, even Tommy the Moose fucking me and him the best friend for plenty of years. Tommy the Moose had an idea, but even he didn't know. That's why he started attacking Clay, and that's when I came up with Tommy looked like, oh shit. Because what happened was first I sent Clay out under a mask, just for Rob. And when Clay took the mask off, Rob was like, what the fuck? Like, you could see the Rob's face if you watch the video. He's just looking at Clay like, what's going on? Now, the second guy that I sent out was Jay George. Jay George never SWF. Jay George and Rob had heat. Some dumb shit happened between them, so on social media they were attacking each other. Jay George in the real world was a cool-ass dude. Rob Fury in the real world was a cool-ass dude. So I knew that face-to-face, the Facebook shit would just go out the window, and once they speak about it, they would be on the same page, because they're both cool-ass people. There's something stupid that was a misunderstanding.
Yeah.
So fucking, when Jay George took the mask off, Rob was still like, what the fuck? So then Moose had no clue what was going on. Moose, that Rob Fury was trying to rip him with Clay. So Moose started attacking Clay, and that's when I came out. And I was fucking, I was like, so geez, leave him alone. He's with us. And Tommy was like, oh, I was like, yeah. So like I told Tommy what I'm about to do. So he was like, okay. So that's why, like, watch the video again if you get to understand more why what happened the way it did. So then, when me and Rob got face to face, that's when Rob found out it was me, because I was like, yo, it's me. and Rob, like, you could see the video. He's like, that was good. Then I go to take the mask off, like you see me grab the mask, and Rob says to me like, no, don't take it off yet. Do something first. So then I let go of the mask, and I was like, I'm gonna low blow you and kick you in the face now. I did the big boot because TJ does the big boot, and TJ was watching, so I had to be a dick. So I was like, all right. So I told him, like, I'm gonna hit you in the nuts, and I'm gonna give you a big boot. That's all right. And that's when Tommy was like, oh shit, like all of that was real. Like none of that was quote unquote scripted. That was all genuine reaction from everybody, because nobody knew that was gonna happen except for me, Jay George, and Clay.
So,
even with the whole Rob Fury turn, that was all fucking Jim. Preston Montgomery, I've known him. He's the one that gave me the name Banks, actually. I've known Preston since I was about 14, 15 years old.
wow.
One day he was drunk as hell, and he looked at me. He's like, you look like you're up to no good. You look like you robbed Banks. I'm going to call you Rob Banks. And the rest is history. That's exactly how I got that fucking name. A drunk Preston Montgomery.
Oh, man.
So, like, up to this day, though, like, the J.J. Adams match, I'd say about 90% of it, probably even 98%, was called by Jim.
Really?
Preston Montgomery. I always call him Jim. He always freaks me out for that. Preston Montgomery. He has, that's such a good mind for this business. He actually called most of that match. Like the finish, the open, that was him.
Really?
Like, I'm like his fucking, like, when I call him a manager, like, he's really a manager. You're not just an on-screen guy. He's my, yo, what should I do? Like, to him, I'm the action figure, and he's the guy playing with it, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's pretty cool, man. I mean, you know.
So, yeah, so the whole turn would end up happening, like, that was another thing. Rob Fury didn't know that we were going to turn him into a heel. I didn't know that we were going to turn him into a heel. What ended up happening there was, it was supposed to be me. We were supposed to attack Rob Fury. Tommy the Moose comes out, saves him. Now, Tommy the Moose and Rob Fury are good friends, and everybody hates Chris Banks and Preston Montgomery. That was the original plan. What ended up happening was something went wrong in the match with Grimm and Rob Fury, that like Rob legit got pissed off, and at the end of the match decided to clothesline Grimm.
Okay.
So I was like, fuck. He just turned himself into a fucking heel. So I was walking away from the curtain, and Jim's like, where are you going? I'm like, run out now. It's going to look stupid. What, we're going to run out, and then fucking Tommy's going to come out and save him? It's going to look fucking like some Mickey Mouse shit. I'm going to let Tommy know that fucking fuck it. He already turned himself into a heel. So Jim's like, so why are you walking away? I'm like, because what the fuck are we going to do? Jim's like, we're going to go out there and embrace him. I was like, what? He's like, yep, that's now. Like, once again, if you watch that video from that show, when we come out, I come out laughing. And when I got to the ring, look at Rob's face. Rob looks confused. Because when I worked to Rob, my exact words was, "You're an asshole. You just turned yourself into a heel." And Rob looks at me and he looks confused. And then I looked at Jim, and that's when Jim did the whole "finally" and hugged Rob. And then as we were hugging, I'm like, okay, now what the fuck are we gonna do from here? And Rob was like, give me a mic. And that's when he cut the heel promo, and that's how Furious 5 happened. Once again, thank you to Jim Preston Montgomery.
Yeah. So Chris, you just mentioned before about your humor. I mean, every time I see you, man, you're always smiling. You always have a good way about you. Is that just natural, or you just try to just piss off everybody for fun?
It's a little bit of both.
Okay.
I'm naturally an asshole. Nah, I don't know. I just like good energy. There's no reason to be a dick to people. You know what I mean? Keep everybody good, and people will treat you good. Whatever happens in your life is the energy you produce. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
When I was younger, I was I had a shitty attitude, especially when I started in wrestling. It did nothing good for me. It got me nowhere. Mm-hmm. And I noticed that, and once I was yo, who the fuck am I? I'm nobody. You know what I mean? I just changed my attitude in case things just got better, man. Why be a dick when you can be happy? You know what I'm saying? Why waste energy on being a myth?
What have been some of the best ribs that you've pulled on people, if you can even talk about them?
I've done a lot of good ones. Oh man, he was really good at fucking ribbing Tommy the Moose. He's probably the best for me. Yeah, he always gets me in that. So I'm fucking him. He's bladder shy. So I don't know if any of you follow me on Snapchat, but when we're in the gym, I wait for him to start pissing. And when he starts pissing, I start rubbing on his head and rubbing on his neck and massaging his shoulders. I just freak him out. So I fucking love doing that to him.
Oh my god.
Let me think. Fucking when I first met him, I hated him. This one's actually, I almost got him killed by another worker, Jason Carlos. If you know Jason Carlos, check him. If you don't know about him, that's his work. Jason, it's J-I-N. Carloss. Fucking dude, the guy's a beast. He does fucking strongman competitions. He's a monster. But fucking he hated Frankie Love a little more. How when I met him, it was over some dumb shit, and I just didn't like the guy. Mm-hmm. And so he started to grow on me. So I was like, hey, I call up a straight edge. You don't like smoke, you don't like alcohol, he's straight edge.
Okay.
So I told him, you're good in my books now. The only person who doesn't like you is Jason Carlos. So I was like, what you should do is to get on his good side. I was like, he collects Zippo lighters, and since you live in the city, I'm sure you can find a gay flag Zippo lighter. The gay flag, I was like, the gay flag and the Confederate flag lighters are the only two he doesn't have in his collection.
Oh man!
I just those shots are legit. I guess. So then, Frankie Love hits me back thank you very much. Finally accept, and thank you for looking out. The best to try to find him those lighters. So okay, no problem. So time goes by, whatever. And Frankie Love comes to the show we had in Staten Island at this warehouse. So he's like, Chris, and I'm like, why the fuck is this guy calling me? At the time, I just want to kill Frankie Love. He forgot about what I told him. So I'm like, yo, why the fuck is he calling me? So then my boy Bruiser, who actually grew up with Frankie Love and actually got close to Frankie Love. Now I love the guy. I have his back no matter what now. But fucking, my boy, grew up with him. So he's like, he's laughing. He's like, just go. I'm like, why? So I walk over, and he's like, look, man, look what I got. And he opens a bag, and fucking gay flag, fucking Zippo lighter, and a Confederate flag lighter. I'm like, oh, shit. I totally forgot about it. I was like, just go in the locker room and give it to him. If anybody stops. So he's like, okay. So he starts walking to the locker room. So I grab my boy, Scotty Priest, and I'm like, Scotty, do me a favor. He's like, what? I'm like, make sure Carlos doesn't kill this guy. He's like, what did he? Please just make sure Carlos doesn't fucking kill this guy. So he runs to the locker room. So fucking, everything that happened. he stands, like, Carlos is bent over, like tying his boots with or whatever, and Frankie Love stands right in front of him, and Carlos, like, looks up, like, what the fuck? And when he sees this Frankie Love, like, all you see is murder in his eyes. He looks at him, he's like, why the fuck are you standing in front of me? What the fuck do you want? So Frankie Love pulls out two license. He's like, I got this for you. Dude, yo, Cole smacked his hand so fucking hard that the light just flew across the locker room. That the light is fucking metal. One hit the fucking wall and the top snapped off. And like he was about to hit him, like he cocked back, and he put his hand down, and he's like, "My grandfather died in a fire." And you saw Frankie Love like, "Oh shit!" Like he turns really red and like puts his head down, and then he walks out the locker room. Thank God Carlos saw me, because when he walked out the locker room, he was like, "That was good." He just started laughing. He was like, "Yo," he was like, "If I didn't see you by the door, I would have killing this guy."
Oh my goodness.
The punishment is because when I caught back, I saw you and I knew you had something to do with this. If it wasn't for me, there would have been no Frankie Love.
That's funny. That's hilarious. Now,
No,
yeah, that's funny. Now, Chris, I have to ask you. I see you got your hairstyle. It's like the half blonde, the half black. Now, is there any meaning behind that, or you just did it because you just thought it was something cool?
it's no longer like that no more.
Oh, you took it out.
Well, I had, let's say I had to go to a place. I went to work for a certain place, and they wanted me to have one hair color.
Oh man, okay.
Because other people there had the half blonde look already in recent times.
Mm-hmm.
So because of that, I had to do it one color.
Oh, okay, cool.
When I had it, the reason was is because like the whole good and evil. I like to mix things up, and like it's just a different look. And like when I was doing it, nobody really had it, and now I see a lot of people having it. That's another reason why I wouldn't do it again.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah.
Like now it became like the new wave. I'm like, oh fuck that. It's not like my gear is so different. Like I wear a leg sleeve on one side and knee pad on the other. I always change it up. You know what I mean? Like I don't like to look like to stand out by being different.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, I remember you used to wrestle with the wave cap on. I remember that.
That's old school.
That is old school. I used to be like, I kind of like this guy, but I don't know if I like that wave cap, man. I used to wear wave caps too, and I was like, I don't know, man. I don't know. But then when I saw you with your hair, I was like, oh man, now I like this shit. I was like, this is dope, man.
Yeah, because I had went away for a minute. I stopped wrestling for a while. Like when I came back, that's when I had the attitude of like, fuck that, I'm gonna make them want me. That's when I started gym. I changed my whole look, my whole attitude. Started training more, busting my ass, and I tried to be a whole different person.
Yeah, definitely. You can see that for sure.
Yeah, thank you. Like yeah, now I started like I'm just myself now, man. Like before, I thought too much about being a fucking gimmick, and to me, the only person I can be is me. So no gimmick needed.
Yeah.
That makes sense.
Yeah, true, definitely.
I'd rather be Mr. No Gimmicks than Mr. No Limits.
Yeah, definitely.
I actually like that. I might run with that.
Yeah, that's dope.
So, you know,
there you go. You heard it first right here on Wrestling Q 101. Mr. No Gimmick, Chris Banks.
Mr. No Gimmicks. I like it.
So, Chris, I mean, you've been in the locker room with so many great legends. What has been some of the best advice you've been given?
The best advice that I ever got was from Truth Martini and ROH. I don't know if a lot of you follow ROH,
Yeah.
but Truth Martini said that he said one thing that stuck to me forever. Like that's what also changed my perspective on my attitude on things.
Mm-hmm.
He said he was like, if Vince McMahon or Triple H were to walk in and tell you how to lock up, how would you lock up? And then I ended up locking up with the guy. And then he was like, if they were to walk in right now and tell you to punch who you punch, then I do my strike with the guy. And he was like, that's how you should always think about it. Do everything like it's your only. And like it sounds so stupid, that's so simple, but that's always something that's stuck with me.
Mm-hmm.
So like I try to do everything like it's my only now.
Yeah, definitely.
Because you never know, man. It could be that one thing that sets you apart from everybody else.
Yeah, it could be for sure.
And like even like everything, like so different. Like the way I hit the ropes, the way I lock up, the way everything I try to do differently. I try not to be so indie because I don't want to be an indie wrestler. I'm not an indie wrestler. I'm a professional wrestler. You know what I mean? Does that make sense?
Yeah, definitely. Definitely. So, and also, as far as like your weight class goes, what do you consider yourself a cruiserweight, a heavyweight? Like, what do you consider yourself, or everything?
My biggest pet peeve, is when I walk into the locker room and I'm considered one of the big guys.
I got you.
That's fucking horrible, dude.
Yeah.
With my gear on and all, I'm 6'1", 203 pounds. I should not be one of the big guys.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like that drives me nuts. Not that it drives me nuts, but it's just like,
Yeah.
So like, to me, I think I'm a cruiserweight, though like a lot of places say I'm not. Like they put me in heavyweight matches, but realistically, I'm 203 pounds, so I should be a cruiserweight.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, because it's funny because like even like I have that impression too, and I saw like you have like a cruiserweight championship match coming up with Jordan Oliver, and I was just like, but Chris is like a heavyweight. I was like, he seems so big. Like, why is he fighting Jordan Oliver for the cruiserweight championship?
But the catch 2020 to that, what a lot of people don't realize is like, 'cause fucking Jordan Oliver is like, he's got the body of a 12-year-old girl. Let's be real, you know what I'm saying? The shit is, he's taller than me.
Yeah,
I feel like that because he's so skinny, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So like, he's actually taller than me. So like, I'm actually looking forward to that. Not only that, like, have you seen him lately? He put his weight, he got his weight up. I like, he been to the gym with me a few times.
Yeah.
So I showed him some shit. And like he actually could write out an eating plan and a workout regimen for him, and he's just following everything, and you can see it in his body. It shows. He's starting to finally look like a 12-year-old girl that hit puberty. You know what I'm saying? He's starting to get boobies. He's starting to get fucking abs. Like,
Oh man.
his body's developing. You know what I'm saying? That's like my little fuck with him about his 12-year-old body.
Oh,
But like,
man.
look, in reality, like. I think he's like 6'2", 6'3". Like he's not a short guy. He just looks small because he's so fucking skinny.
Yeah.
So now that he's getting his weight up, you can see the difference in him. Like his body is he has definition finally.
Yeah, for sure.
He's phenomenal too. So that's gonna
Yeah,
be
he's
good.
fucking awesome, dude. I'm looking forward to this. I know for sure he's going places. Especially he's so fucking young. He's got it.
Yeah.
And he got a good attitude. That's what I love about him.
So we gotta talk about this, man. You recently got in the ring also with Magic. Magic, 35 years. I mean, how was it getting in the ring with him? Such an icon.
Fuck that guy. I mean, what a lot of people don't know is I actually known Magic probably more than half of my life.
Really?
His son and I grew up together. His son and I were really good friends always, like since we were kids. And we're still friends. His son is they build a professional business. And like up to this day, we're good friends. Like so I've been Magic forever. And like when I got into the business, I got into the business through Steve Mack. And he's actually the one that broke me into the business.
Oh, nice.
We can
And
kind of relate.
when I got into the business, Magic was like, "Oh shit, you training now?" And basically he started showing me shit too, like started training me as well, and took me under his wing too. And like, there was a time I stopped for a lot of years. Like I started doing other shit. I like went the other route in life. And then like when I came back, took my head out my ass. Magic was there like, "All right, you got your head out your ass. You ready to get back to this now?" I'm like, yeah. He's like, "All right, good." And I started training with Magic again. It's like I got nothing but the respect for Magic. Every time I step into the ring, it's such a fucking pleasure and honor, man. Like I love it. He's one of my favorite guys to be in there, and it's just fun. Like I know they say you're not supposed to have fun when you're in the ring, but when I'm out there with Magic, it's just fucking fun, man. Because I know, like, it's like to me, it's like, damn, here it is. I'm hanging with the guys that showed me the ropes, and I'm going in with him. You know what I'm saying? Like I don't go like when I'm looking at like, "Oh, you're an older guy now. Let's go light." Like, no, fuck you. And he'll tell me like, "No, don't go like me. Fuck you." So we go at it. You know what I mean? And it's all respect. So it's like a blessing just to be able to step in there with him. There's certain guys that when I step in with, it's like, wow, this is really happening.
Yeah. Have you been to the buffet with Magic? And if so, can you hang with him?
Oh, you don't even know, dude. I'm a skinny fat guy. my asshole, bro.
Oh yeah.
my stomach is like the black hole.
Oh
my
man,
God.
Yeah, I eat a lot.
that's funny. Now speaking of,
That's why I'm in the gym so much.
I hear you. I hear you.
Like Ryback, huh?
Yeah. Now, speaking of legends, you also at MegaSlam, you got to be in a match with Juventud Guerrera and Super Crazy. Can you tell us about that experience and if you got any advice from either one of them?
Yep. I got the advice that I'm better than both of them.
Well, you did defeat them.
Yeah,
it was cool, but once again, it comes down to the because like seeing those guys on TV, like growing up, looking up to them and shit, looking up to Lucha Libres and all that shit, you know, luchadors, especially being a stick, you know what I mean, myself, it was like, oh shit, this is fucking cool.
Yeah.
And then like when I met them, I was like, holy shit, these guys are like little kids. Like I didn't realize how big I was compared to them.
Nice.
Like I was towering both of them. I was like, oh shit. So like, I mean, it was fun. Don't get me wrong, but it was like I knew I couldn't do half the stuff that I thought I could because the size difference.
Mm-hmm.
It would have looked like shit me doing certain things. But at the end of the day, like I was the heel, and like they played their part, I played my part. It was fun.
Nice.
It was just surreal.
That's awesome.
Like a lot of it, like even like Sid, man, Sid being there was so fucking cool.
Yeah.
And like the way he put me over, holy shit! I was like, yo, is this guy lying to me, man? Like that whole card felt like WCW Thunder.
Yeah, dude. Yeah, for real.
You had Sid, you had fucking Hogan, you had fucking Crazy, you had fucking Ultimo Dragon,
Sunny Kiss.
you had fucking Sonny Ono. Like I swear to God, it felt like an episode of Thunder. It was so cool.
Oh man, awesome.
Yeah, Sonny Ono was the best, man, for sure.
Yeah, he's bad. A lot of people don't know. He's actually the king of the selfies. He was the first to do selfies.
Yeah.
Yeah, you know,
Like the first person to ever take a selfie on national TV, to push selfies. Even before selfie had a name, was Sonny Ono, the guy doing that. A lot of people don't realize that.
yeah, I think maybe Steve Scott might challenge him though for that though.
Steve Scott got to worry about getting in a fucking ring and training. That guy's garbage.
Oh man, that's funny.
You know, one of the guys I gotta talk to you about is one of your brethren in Furious 5 is Vinny Cenzo. I mean, how long you guys have been friends for?
Cenzo and I, we've known each other a long time.
Uh-huh.
But like, we really got close when he broke his neck. What was it, like, 2 or 3, maybe 4 years ago?
Mm-hmm.
He broke his neck. And like, I know how, like, I've broken my ribs before, I've broken my arms before. And I know how it is, like, when you're starting to get on the road, starting to get hot, and get eyes on you, and then something happens, like an injury or something, it sucks because it's like a reset button, you know what I mean? Like, damn, I just did all the fucking this, now I gotta do it over again. So fucking like, when he broke his neck, like, he was starting, like, it was getting to him. Like, you can see, like, depression and shit was starting to get to him. He was stressing out from it. He was talking to us about it and shit.
Uh-huh.
So, one day, like, I hit him up on a private tip, and I was like, yo, you might not want to do it, but I have an idea for you to keep it relevant. He's like, what's up? I was like, but it's going to require you to turn to a heel. She's like, what's up? So, like, I told him, like, yo, like, you're not going to be able to wrestle. His neck is out, but it's going to keep you relevant, blah, 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 blah. So I came with, like, an angle, and that's how Five Guys happened. That's how he became a part of Five Guys. When he became a part of Five Guys, his neck was broken. That's why we were just using him as a mouthpiece and using him like, oh, no, you don't want to fight. He's better than you. I'll fight you instead. That was the real reason behind that, because his neck was broken.
Oh, nice.
And, like, right there, he and I got so fucking, like, after that, we got fucking real cool with each other. And then, like, it was funny because, like, when we were out there, we were always, like, ribbing other people together. Mm-hmm. Like Donnie fucking, what's his name? Donnie Jackson, I think, the manager. Mm-hmm. We call him Donnie Tight Sweater because he always wears that tight-ass sweater. I think his name is Donnie, I want to say that. Whatever. So, like, we were out there and, like, he's like, we're the heel. He's out there with the faces. He stood right next to me and Cenzo. Dude, we're healers. Right now, by doing that, you're making us look like shit. So me and Cenzo looked at each other, and at the same time, we turned around and started popping him. And we were like, oh, shit. So like, we ended up popping the shit out of him, beating him down. And like, he was trying to run away, and we were holding him by his pants. And like, we were legit like fucking him, stiff as shit. Like, you idiot, you gonna make us look bad? And as we were doing it, we both stood on his head. And somebody took a picture of it. So we thought like we were stepping on him. So we thought that was funny as hell. Like, we both like we were like, oh, look at this picture, blah, blah, blah. Mm-hmm. So then, like, I think it was like the following show when the guys from Howard Stern were there. And we had a match. And after the match, me, Cenzo, and Jim were in the ring. And one of the guys from Howard Stern, I don't know, he thought like, oh, I'm with Howard Stern, so I'm the shit. Like, I can just go into the ring. Like, no, stupid. Like, you're in my world now. I respect your world. Respect mine. He jumped into the ring with me and Cenzo. I took a big offense to that. I punched this guy so fucking hard that he dropped instantly. He dropped. Fucking Cenzo pulled him in the middle of the ring, and we started stomping him. And fucking, as we were stomping him, we both stood on his head as we did to Donnie Jackson, and somebody took a picture of it. And once again, we had that picture like both of us. Then the following show, John Montgomery, he made that shit happen. Where his heels, he stood right next to us. So we stood on his fucking head. So after that, me and Cenzo were like, yo, we got 3 different pictures stepping on 3 different fucking people's heads. You don't fucking love them. We are the Step Brothers. And that's why we started to call each other Step Brothers.
Oh my goodness. That's hilarious.
It's outstanding.
That's hilarious. Now, I have to ask, besides wrestling, do you have any other hidden talents? Because I saw you, I don't know, this is like some real research here. I saw you with a guitar. I don't know if you was just bullshitting or you really do know how to play the guitar.
You told me, man. Yeah, I play around with music and shit. Yeah, I play around with it. I try that. I'd rather listen to music than watch TV.
Chris,
their music is
That's funny.
Chris, what are your feelings about LeBron going to the Lakers?
I don't really talk about basketball anymore. I used to be a huge Knicks fan.
Okay.
I look at it like this. Your boy knows how to make money and stay in the limelight, so he's doing something right.
Yeah, that's right.
Definitely.
I dig it, you know what I'm saying? I respect, like, I like that. Like, people shit on Kanye. I'm a huge Kanye fan. I love everything about the man.
Yeah, definitely.
I love his music. I love the way he moves. No matter how much shit the media says or talks about him, at the end of the day, you never hear that he's a bad husband or a bad father. Mm-hmm. I'm saying he's a good man at the end of the day. He donates, he gives back, and I respect that.
Definitely, yeah. That's funny. Yeah, and that seems to be a common story I hear. Everybody who's a Knicks fan, they just stopped watching basketball for a long time.
Yeah, especially when you fucking waste 20 years of your life on I could have been chasing girls or something.
Yeah, I hear you.
not watching grown-ass men play with balls. What the fuck? my teenage years sucked.
Oh, my goodness. That's funny.
Thank you, Nick.
So, Chris, I mean, you've teamed up with Big Daddy V. You've been in the ring with Sonny Kiss, Joey Ace, Mr. Grimm, Aaron Bradley, Casey Navarro, Anthony Gangone. What has been your favorite match that you've had?
My favorite match is what I'm wearing today. I got some nice black Jordans on with some nice black basketball shoes. Some nice black tank top with a nice black fit. It's a pretty fucking good match.
That's funny. That's funny.
Every match is good to me. I don't really have a favorite, to be honest, because like I walk away with everything as a new lesson. Uh-huh. Every match I'm in and I walk away healthy from is a blessing. Even matches that I've got hurt and I've learned from, so that's still a blessing. You know what I mean? Blessings come from every way, pretty much. I'm thankful for every opportunity I've been given. I'm thankful and blessed with the chances that I've gotten. And I'm happy with the route my career's been going lately. Yeah. I'm just counting my blessings and I'm taking everything nice.
One person that I'm even surprised you got in the ring with was the notorious 187 Homicide.
Yeah.
Most people, I don't think, would take that match. How was it getting in the ring with him?
It was fucking awesome. We did it twice. Yeah. 3 times we did it. That was pretty cool. That was, at first it was like kind of nerve-wracking, but like I don't get intimidated by people. Like, not to sound like I'm the toughest guy, but like intimidation don't really happen to me. Because I can fight. You know what I mean? Like, that's how I look at it. If shit gets out of hand, how to protect myself. Not saying anything about him. I just mean in general.
Yeah.
So like, I don't really get, but like a lot of people are like, oh, how can you work with this guy? Oh, how can you work with this guy? And like, it's just like, I could protect myself. If shit gets out of hand, I know I can get down. You know what I mean?
Yeah, for sure.
And I don't mean that like I'm better than you or cocky. I just mean like in reality. You know what I'm saying? That's why like I don't get intimidated when I'm in the ring.
Definitely.
Like I say that shit all the time. Like, especially when it comes to the business, like with wrestling, like I could work or I could shoot. So either way you want it, I'm gonna let you follow. If you start shooting on me, you're doing me a favor because I like to open that can of worms.
You know, so you have a match with Jordan Oliver for the Cruiserweight Championship. If you don't win, do you have your eyes on TJ Marconi in that World Heavyweight title after that?
No, it's not a World Heavyweight title, first off.
No?
It's only been fucking defended in New Jersey. Just because you take a fucking belt off station with you does not mean it's a fucking world title, dude. That's first and foremost.
Oh my
It's a heavyweight title.
That's funny.
It's true. It's a fucking heavyweight title.
Oh man.
Yeah. Am I lying?
That is true.
They basically call it a New Jersey fucking title. You know what I'm saying? It's not a fucking heavyweight title.
Rob said it's been defended around the world, so...
It's been defended around the world?
That's what Rob said, yeah.
Yeah, but just you defend a company on Facebook. Some guys in Europe talking shit about it doesn't mean they're defending the title.
Oh my god.
Oh my
I'm gonna be
goodness.
fired.
Oh my god.
No, that's funny. That's fucking funny.
So Chris Banks, where can people get you on social media if they want to connect with you?
By fucking clicking on the tag from this podcast where it's tagged Chris Banks. Click on that. That's how you find me on Facebook. Yeah, that's really how would you find me on Facebook. And on Instagram, it's at Mr. No Limits Chris Banks.
Okay.
Snapchat's at Mr. No Limits CB, and Twitter is at 5 Guys Chris Banks. That's the number 5. GUIS for those who can't spell. Chris Banks.
Oh man.
Okay.
Well, Chris,
Oh, and I have a YouTube page. Yeah. Ooh,
YouTube too. Yeah, promo
I
it.
do. What is it? I don't remember it. Fuck. Really? Oh, YouTube is no. It's YouTube.com/ remember the name CB.
Remember the name CV, definitely. Well, Chris, we definitely appreciate you taking time out and talking with us today, man.
Essentially
Thank
taking
you,
time out.
Andrew. Thank you, Derek. Both of you gentlemen been nothing but to speak with.
Thank you. As for us, we're Wrestling IQ 101. You can find us on Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, at Wrestling IQ 101. Make sure you subscribe. Listen to this on the B Plus Player Network. It's on all streaming formats. Follow, subscribe, share, and we are out. You have just listened to the Wrestling IQ 101 podcast, powered by B Plus Player Radio.